Welcome to the Career Bootcamp preparation session. Over the next hour, we will be exploring practical tips to prepare and connect with fellow participants and start building momentum before the big event. Please note that this session will be offered in English only. The French session will take place at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. I would like to begin by acknowledging that I live, work, and play on the traditional unceded territory of the Squamish, Musqueam, and Tsleil-Waututh Nation, and I encourage all of you to acknowledge the land that you live in as well. The Career Bootcamp is the largest conference in the GC, or one of the largest conferences in the GC, and the only goal is to support you in your career journey. As we move through today's session, please share your questions by using the Q&A button in the language of your choice. You can vote for the questions that you like by clicking the thumbs up button, as well as vote. As with all Fin sessions, this session will be recorded so you can go back and check out the recordings and insight at a later date. We would also like to note that the PowerPoint presentation for each sessions, including this one, will be available on our wiki page, so you can feel free to follow along at your own pace and improve your learning experience. All the resources shared during this session will be added to our wiki page. My name is Fatima. I will be your moderator for this session. Before we get started, we have a couple of quick polling questions for you. This is not a test. This is not mandatory, but we'd love to know who you are. The very first question that we have you attended a career boot camp in the previous years? Is it yes? Is it your first time? Or have you attended each year? Second, what are the most exciting thing for you about the Career Bootcamp? Is it the workshops, exploring the kiosks, speed mentoring, or networking with your peers? You get a single choice. A. So we have 68% of you that's attending for the first time. Welcome. This is a very fun part of being part of the GC. So I'm excited for you to engage in this endeavor that we have going on. The next question is, you're excited for the workshops, and I do highly recommend them. Some of them have been very helpful in my own personal career. Okay, let's get started. So our panelists today is Natalie, Justine, and Alan. And over to you, Justine.
Hi, everyone. So I can get us started on the learning objectives. So we're super excited to have you with us today. Some of the learning objectives that we'd like to run you through today are describing the purpose and structure of Career Bootcamp 2026. We want you to understand what it's all about if this is your first time attending, really to get to understand what you're in for, what you can be excited for this year. Understand key themes that will emerge throughout the sessions and why they are important in this context. So we're going through lots of changes, lots of announcements. We're all navigating. So understanding why the sessions and topics are important right now, starting off 2026 and wrapping up 2025. Next, we will articulate personal goals for participating in the boot camp and how it aligns with your career development plans and aspirations. And then lastly, learning how to begin building connections ahead of the event. So seeing some new friends, some new connections on LinkedIn that you may be able to learn from and grow with together. Perfect. So I believe we have Nat first up, Natalie, who will go through some of the content with you, and then I will be back shortly to talk to you again.
So hi everyone, my name's Natalie and I've been with the Federal Youth Network since the beginning of my career. In fact, how I first discovered the Federal Youth Network was while I was working at ESDC's Innovation Lab, and we were working on a new youth services initiative, and I took the initiative to collaborate with the Federal Youth Network at the time to bring in 50 young public servants to be consulted on this new service that the department at the time was trying to develop. So I've seen from the very beginning of my career just how amazing this network is, and it's been a part of my career all the way till now, and I hope that it'll be the same for all of you as well. Few highlights before joining the federal government. I did 2 international fellowships, research based, and I've did an undergraduate degree at the University of Toronto, as well as a master's of design in strategic foresight and innovation, which is how I ended up at ESDC's Innovation Lab. I'll pass it on to the next bio, and then I will provide the intro slide.
Hello, everyone. I'm another speaker for this session. I'm Alan Tam, and I joined at ESDC in 2008 as an AppsWeb student. So I grown in my department and my career from a clerk to an officer, later on to a team leader, and I'm currently on secondment with the Federal Youth Network as a senior project officer. So I hand it over to Justine as well to introduce yourself with a bio.
Hello again, everyone. So now's my opportunity to introduce myself. I'm Justine Reynolds, Senior Advisor with the Federal Youth Network. I've had the lucky opportunity to work with the FIN team for the last 2 years. I am currently on secondment with the FIN team from Housing Infrastructure and Communities Canada, previously just called Infrastructure Canada, where I was in the Deputy Minister's Office, so DMO, serving as the departmental liaison. I have been working with the FIN team not only for 2 years, but also like Natalie and Alan and Fatima, had volunteered with the FIN team prior to my actual secondment with the FIN team. So you'll hear about lots of opportunities through CBC to get engaged, but we all have similarities here as the speakers for you today, that we've all volunteered with the FIN team and participated in the community development space throughout our time. Part of my brand, you'll probably hear throughout CBC, a theme is building your brand. Part of my brand is leading the mentorship community of practice, the interdepartmental mentorship community of practice, bringing together folks who are working on mentorship programs across the GC. And another community of practice I'm proud to lead is the Take Me With You initiative, the Take Me With You community of practice. So excited to share more on that with you later. I've started in the GC way back in 2012 as a co-op student. So I'm sure we have lots of students with us today, so can relate with you on that. I started as a co-op student with Correctional Services Canada and had some experience with StatsCan as well as a student, and then made my way over to Fisheries and Oceans Canada and Coast Guard. Then it was the Coast Guard. Now Coast Guard is with DND. So I spent majority of my career so far actually at Fisheries and Oceans Canada, and had the opportunity there to end my time there as the full-time young professional lead. It was called at DFO, Your Professional Network. And now I have ended up at Indigenous Services Canada, which is where the Federal Youth Network is housed. I'll pass it back to Nat. She's going to get us started on the next section. Thank you.
So I want to start off by welcoming everyone virtually to the largest annual Federal Youth Network-led career boot camp. Where what we offer here is something that anyone, whether you're within government or aspiring to join the federal public service at any stage of your career, a welcoming space to participate and learn through various workshops and sessions how to advance, transform, and sustain one's career within the federal government. It is an excellent opportunity to expand your network in the public service. The Career Bootcamp over the years has unleashed a network of over 39,000 participants since 2021. So there's been a lot of different federal public servants that have participated, and I hope that this becomes an opportunity for a lot of you to meet a very wide network of public servants. Move on to the next slide. So with your experience this year, I hope you know that you can self-design your experience attending any session that interests you, as well as participating at your leisure. So you might want to attend a few sessions, or you may want to balance some of the sessions and workshops with a busy workday, or maybe you want to attend all of the sessions. It's really up to you how many sessions you want to participate in. And in order to navigate this experience, make sure to review what the workshops are and the different timings, and figure out what works best for you and your schedule. If you miss any workshops, though, or find that you can't fit it in with your busy workday, don't worry. All workshops will be available on the Federal Youth Network's YouTube page or on our podcast following the Career Bootcamp. So if you miss anything, don't worry. We'll have it available for you online, and you'll be able to watch it at your convenience. Passing on to the next slide.
Thank you,
Pass it
Natalie.
over. Yeah.
Let's talk about how to maximize your Zoom experience during the Career Bootcamp. We also call it as CBC. So before the event, ensure you have your Zoom app updated. If you're using a desktop app, there is an update last week. So ensure you have your Zoom update to the latest version. If you choose to use your personal device, ensure you download the app as well, or if your department may not be compatible with Zoom, you can also join through Zoom events through your browser. So ensure taking care of the tech pieces. You may also contact your IT department if you encounter any difficulties on using Zoom as well. So let's talk about during the workshop, how are you going to have your full experience? You are part of how to shape the Career Bootcamp. So engage, asking, I would say, ask the question, participate in those sessions. Very good job, everyone, on voting on the poll questions. This is one of the methods for you how to participate in the Career Bootcamp. There is also a Q&A button as well. I see some of you folks has been using those functions. So good job, everyone. This will be the kind of interactive functionalities of Zoom and our sessions which we are going to offer. Next one, on the Zoom events platform, as Natalie mentioned, is the best time to engage, to know people. It'll be fun as well. Guess what? On the day one, we will have 16 different GC networks and initiative joining us, having a booth. So ensure to browse around the lobby, explore the lobby, and visit each of the kiosks as well. It is very similar to just like when you are in an in-person conference, you go to the conference hall and meet each of the booth, but this time will be done more virtually. So take the time to experience. There are 16 kiosks there for you to explore, and there will be representative from each of the networks and initiative to answer any questions that you may have. So there may be some networks or initiative that you would like to join. Feel free to take the time. And also one little tip as well, as Natalie mentioned, in this year, the Career Bootcamp CBC, you were able to join all of them, or you can also pick and choose as well which one is really close to you and you would like to join as well. You can choose to join all, one, or some of the stuff sessions that you may like. So it is good to block the time that is on your work calendar, on your Outlook calendar. Especially, I can see some of you folks, it's the first time joining us, may not be familiar with the Zoom platform. So blocking the time of your selected session in your Outlook calendar can ensure that you can enjoy the full experience of those sessions as well. You can ask questions live. At the same time, you can join the sessions online. So let's look at the next slide about a little bit of the coming content for our CBC, giving you a little bit of trailer moment what we are going to show you. So there are 4 days for our CBC: January 20th, January 22nd, 27th, and 29th. Day 1, January 20th. The theme is exploration and mobility in the federal public service. 1 p.m. Eastern Time, we will have Finding Your Next Opportunity. And then next, 2:30 is Career Mobility Decoded. And in between the two sessions, 2 p.m. Eastern Time is the kiosk. So for day 1 is to understand how to move within the GC system and also take control of your career moves. Let's talk about day 2, January 22nd. It's about the connection, mentorship, and how to strategic network. We have 2 sessions for you again: 1 p.m. Eastern Time, networking with purpose, and then 2:30 is coaching, mentoring, and sponsorship 101. Is to leverage those relationships and how to support your career in the long run. And guess what? All the speakers that we have, or some of them, are subject matter experts. Some of them are senior leadership as well. They are able to share some of the tips and tricks on how to energize your career. Day 3, the theme, it's about work-life balance, sustaining your career through balance and safety. Again, January 27th, 2 sessions for you, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We have Balance in Action, Tools to Prevent Burnout. And then the second one, starting at 2:30 Eastern Time, is Psychologically Safety Starts With You. You can also bring back those materials to your team and share with your team as well. Again, if you miss any of those sessions, those will be recorded and you are able to find those sessions in the YouTube channel. Or feel free to have a viewing party as well. So day 4 is the last day of the CBC, January 29th. It's about digital fluency and career resilience. We have 2 sessions for you again. The one at 1 p.m., AI and digital literacy in the federal public service. The second one, 2:30 Eastern Time, is more like a wrap up. It'll be a panel discussion. It's looking ahead, resilience, opportunity, and the future of work. The last day, it's about embrace the innovation, embrace the adaptability, and then have a future forward thinking. Let's look at the other page on a PowerPoint, looking as a testimonial from last year, or I can say myself as well as a previous participant. Someone mentioned, appreciate you reaching out and connecting. I actually attended a panel discussion you spoke yesterday, and this event does not seem like has been coordinated. They are doing an amazing job. The next one is, thank you for speaking out about being neurodivergent and for showing how to help others struggling with networking. It is quite important to network these days, so that day 2 will possibly be helping out. This one, taking about 3 pages worth of notes, very insightful and interesting. And for myself, I do find these sessions, I'm able to have insight, tips and tricks from our speakers, that they are being authentic and able to transpire me or take those information along with me as well and develop my career. So I'm going to hand it over to Justine and talk about next steps.
Thank you, Alan. That was a great commercial for CBC. Really, really excited about all the sessions we have coming up. They're very timely, interesting, and we have so many good speakers ready for you. So I'm personally excited to see the sessions myself, as I am every year. So we want to talk about next steps. What can you do next? Now you know what CBC is, what it's all about, why it's important for you to attend, share the messaging with others, and what sessions you might want to attend as a sneak peek. Now we just want to discuss what to do next before January. So first things first, finalize your schedule. We're still a little bit ahead, but with holidays and everything, vacation coming up, you want to get it booked into your calendar as soon as possible. So please take a look again at the sessions and the overview that Alan shared with you. By no means do you have to attend all the sessions, but if you're able to, we definitely encourage that. There is much more of an advantage to attend the live session. I personally enjoy live sessions much more than recordings. You have your opportunity to ask questions and interact. So please consider putting them in your calendar, blocking it off now ahead of time, so that hopefully things don't interfere. If you haven't done so already, which I suspect many of you have because you're here today, so that's fantastic. If you haven't yet registered for Career Bootcamp, please make sure that you do. Haley's posting the appropriate links for you in the chat. And when in doubt, you can always Google Federal Youth Network Career Bootcamp and you'll find our wiki page. It's very easy to find. So please register for the event. When you register, you only have to register once. You don't need to register for each session. So important to note that. No need to register for each session. It's one registration link for all the sessions. You'll have access to all the sessions and all the resources from that one registration. Perfect. It is hosted on Zoom events. We are on Zoom right now, so you're familiar with that. That's wonderful. Zoom events is slightly different, more so for us on the back end and not as much for you as the viewers, but there are some really cool additional unique features. So feel free to sign on early to Zoom events and check it out. Once you register, you will have access to Zoom events and you can go on and create your profile. So what that means is writing out your name, where you work, your position title, and adding a photo if you want. When Career Bootcamp is live, you'll be able to interact with other participants, which is not available on regular Zoom. So it is a cool, unique feature. So you want to have your profile ready for then. So feel free, like I said, to sign on, check it out a little bit so that you're not scrambling last minute when joining the session. There are instructions we have on the wiki page. I see they've been shared in the chat on how to navigate Zoom events. So feel free to check that out when you have a few minutes of downtime. And then reminder to bookmark the sessions in your calendar. So we would suggest blocking off that time and noting the time and a session that you'd like to attend, sessions that you'd like to attend. Pre-event tasks. So I just went over that. I'm getting ahead of myself. Feel free to sign on to Zoom events, update your profile so that you're ready to go when we start and launch January 20th. Test your tech setup. Always good to make sure Zoom is available to you on your computer that you'll be using. It is, no surprise, it's blocked for some departments. Unfortunately, something we don't have control over, but please make sure that you're able to access Zoom events, whether on a personal device. Worst case, you can use your phone if that's accessible to you. And if ever you have any issues, you can always reach us at the CBC mailbox or the FIN mailbox, and we'll do our absolute best to help you out. Now, the fun part, engage with participants. We encourage you to make connections, reach out to folks on LinkedIn, use this to your advantage. There'll be tons of folks available to you to network and engage with throughout Career Bootcamp. In addition to the participants, also the speakers. So if there's some speakers that you are super keen on connecting with or look up to or very much interested in learning more about, you can feel free to connect with them either through the Zoom events platform or through LinkedIn. If you don't have your LinkedIn profile yet, that would be another step to do in advance of Career Bootcamp if you have the time to create your LinkedIn profile. And then stay informed. Lastly, in terms of next steps, stay informed, watch for reminder emails. We will be sending some reminder emails. You will get them automatically from Zoom Events saying, this session on mentorship and coaching is starting in 5 days or so. So check out the reminders. Sometimes, occasionally, they do go to your junk folder. So you may miss them there. Check out, if you notice nothing's coming in, please consider checking your junk mailbox. Sign up for the Fin distribution list. Many of you likely have already done so. If not, we would highly encourage you to register so that you do hear about any updates that we have for Career Bootcamp and future programming, as well as resources to be shared after Career Bootcamp. The link, again, is in the chat. When in doubt, you can always Google Federal Youth Network and you'll find our wiki fairly easily. And then another fun component to share with you is register for CBC Speed Mentoring. So after today's event, you will receive a follow-up email from our team, and that will include future programming information, including Career Bootcamp Speed Mentoring. So we'll move over to the next slide, and then I'll tell you a bit more about Speed Mentoring. Perfect. So we have various learning events and career development opportunities for you coming up in the coming months. Not only the coming months, this is what we do as Fin. There'll be sessions and opportunities available for you throughout the year, but we want to highlight a couple that are really exciting that are coming up in the near future. So first up, we have our PSC sessions. PSC stands for Public Service Commission. The Fin team has partnered with PSC to organize Level Up sessions. I love the name. They are happening. We did the pilot one already. So one session has already taken place. Tomorrow we have our next session. It is offered in English. And then we have a variety of other dates, December 9th, 11th, January 8th, and 12th. So please consider registering for those if you have not already. Information is available in more detail on what those sessions entail on our wiki page. But they are what they sound like. Level Up. It's to prepare you for what's to come in your career. It's to prepare you for the next steps, to prepare you for some potential job applications that you may go through in the next little while. So this is a 2-hour session hosted by PSC in collaboration with Fin, and is designed for Government of Canada employees, so all of you, to assist you with your career search and assessment skills. So the Public Service Commission has a variety of HR experts who are very well equipped with being able to answer questions on staffing processes, assessment processes, whether it's for interviews or applying for jobs. So you'll have access to experts in that area to bring all of your questions when it comes to anything related to applying for jobs. Some of the things that will be covered in that session will be learning skills to efficiently and effectively complete the application process for formal job processes, providing you with ideas to improve your job search technique and how to market yourself to potential employers, decoding the government assessment process and terminology. As we know, it can be very tricky and confusing, so they'll break down and bust some myths on those elements. And then lastly, provide tips and best practices for success in your career development. So really recommend those sessions. You'll have access to experts in the area, and also hearing from Fin as to some of the more informal job application opportunities, which are really interesting. Next up is CBC Speed Mentoring, which I gave a teaser to in the last slide. This is an initiative organized by the Fin team as part of Career Bootcamp, but it is separate from the core Career Bootcamp programming. It's separate than the sessions that Alan had highlighted, taking place starting the 20th. It'll be before, so the week before Career Bootcamp launches, we're going to be hosting our Career Bootcamp Speed Mentoring series. Very excited to announce there's 3 regular sessions and then 1 reverse mentoring session. So the regular sessions will be taking place January 13th, 14th, and 15th. We have 2 English sessions, 1 French session, and we offer different times for those in the regions with different time zones. So we hope that all of the sessions will work well, or one of the sessions will work well for you. You will get first access to register for those sessions following our session today. So once you see the wrap-up email, you'll have the link to register for the session that works best for you. That will be an opportunity to have FaceTime with mentors across the GC. And it is not only senior executives, there will be some senior executives there, but there will also be folks who are at the manager level or senior analyst level who can answer your questions on career development, who can teach you about how they got to where they are, who can answer any tough questions you might have about what the government is going through right now in terms of fiscal restraint and so on. So a really, really cool opportunity to meet those outside of your regular team and build connections with them. It is a one-time event, but you're more than welcome to build those connections and have a coffee chat later on. Maybe you'll end up building longer lasting mentorship relationships from this event. So there you go. You get first access to speed mentoring, a very, very cool opportunity. It will fill up quick. So please keep an eye out for that. Then, of course, no surprise, Career Bootcamp happening January 20th to 29th. Please block off your calendar now. And then sneak peek again for our upcoming Fin in-person learning days and our Future Leader Forum. So very, very cool. These are in-person events. So as you know, Career Bootcamp is all virtual. This is to allow for horizontal collaboration across regions and departments and agencies. It really allows us to have really awesome speakers from various departments and regions. We can't always do that as easily in the in-person context. So we offer Career Bootcamp for that purpose. We also complement it by having our in-person learning days and our Future Leader forums in person. So although Career Bootcamp is fully virtual, you'll still have opportunities to sign up for great programming in person. The dates will be released soon. Right now, you can see on our wiki page, we still have the dates from the 2025 year, but you'll be able to see all of the locations that we visit. So right now, you can have access to the locations. The specific dates will be added shortly, and they will resume in person in April. So the new dates will be up and ready for you very shortly. I've talked so much, but lots to share and lots to be excited about. So I am done for now. And I think it's our opportunity to answer all of your questions. So if you haven't already done so, please give us a shout out with your questions, and Fatima will walk us through this part. Thank you.
Hello. Hi. So I was saying thank you to Justine, Alan, and Natalie for your amazing presentation. Let's move on to the questions from the audience. You will use the Q&A function. So it's just the little bubbles on the bottom. If you have not seen it yet, it's right next to your show captions on the bottom of your screen. And you can upvote any questions that you like with a little thumbs up button that's underneath the questions. Let's get straight to it. Please answer the questions as quickly as possible, and so that we can cover more material. I will ask the questions and one of the panelists will answer. Others can add or discuss as we keep moving. Any resources that is mentioned here will be shared on our wiki page after the event. What makes Career Bootcamp a must-attend event for public servants?
I can jump in to get us started. And then I see Alan wants to share some insight too. It's the best conference in the GC. Slightly kidding. It's your firsthand access to various speakers across a multitude of departments and agencies and regions. So a great way to learn from people in diverse fields or able to share their regional differences. A lot of times we see conferences that are very focused on a certain subject, whether it's policy or communications or so. This one allows you an opportunity to a very diverse array of speakers across the GC, even some outside of the GC, which is definitely a highlight. but it allows you access to a multitude of speakers with all their advice when it comes to career development. So this is the only career development focused conference across the GC. So it's all about you. It's all about your learning and your career development. And I personally don't think there's any other conferences that are quite the same with the same mission and mandate.
Thank you, Justine. I believe Career Bootcamp 2, it's one of the best that is offered out in the GC community. Why we need to join these, it's to learn from people. We possibly have attended different self-guided courses on how to build your career or read certain articles on LinkedIn or also other platforms as well. You are able to join Smeet Mentoring to hear the insider tricks and actually talk to a person or talk to a coworker from other departments, other regions as well, how their career will be on how to move along these days. I would say it's also timely. Think about it is happening in January. In around 2 or 3 months' time, it's your year-end PMA, your performance management review time. So you can use this session as a spark or learning about what's jobs out there, what you like to learn, what you like to see, and put it in your PMA section D. That will help you down the road what kind of courses you would like to take, or maybe have a take me with you session as well with your leaders or your coworker, which is also under the Fin team as well for Take Me With You initiative. It is also on our wiki page if you're interested to know what it is, or maybe it's already offered in your department.
Thank you, Alan. Second question. How can this experience accelerate someone's career journey?
I'll step in here. I think, and as I mentioned when I spoke, was like I think the access to the network is the big piece. I'm a big believer with your career, your network, working your network and the social capital that you have access to in the federal government can really kind of broaden the opportunities that are available to you. And so I think Career Bootcamp, virtually and in person, is a great opportunity to kind of meet people in the public service. The Career Bootcamp has done an excellent job over the years to make sure that we have speakers like executives that come and speak at a lot of our sessions. So it's a great way to meet managers and executives from various departments and potentially learn about new work opportunities. So I think not only do you learn, but you also meet people that could potentially help you advance your career.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Natalie.
Natalie. The word using accelerate is kind of interesting. I would like to say it's these sessions empower you, energized you like an energizer bunny to your career. These sessions build I would say solid or a foundation of job search. Know what about it's out there within the GC community, then you'll be able to find your way through this system. So maybe later on we'll accelerate, I would say, like a rocket, but these sessions give you the information that you will need on how to navigate through. As some of the session mentioning, it's about career mobility, right? Thanks.
Okay, third question. What's the one thing you wish more people knew about opportunities available in the public service?
I would say it's to know your employment tenure, know your organizational charts. I think meeting with different people out there through the Career Bootcamp will help you understand those and build and again build a solid foundation. And again, is to inform yourself about what is out there. Inform yourself about let's say the job categorization. Let's say for me as a team leader, I am a PM, program management, and I'm a 3. So you know, like, okay, is this at level opportunity they're looking for? Is it those little codes? Is it a deployment? Is it an assignment? Is it an acting? So you're able to know those terms and know where you're going to go.
I'll step in after Alan there. So I think, like, honestly, if I look at my career, I have to really thank the Federal Youth Network in many cases. Even the current opportunity that I have, because I'm engaged in my professional network at my department, and I'm making sure that I'm meeting other public servants at my level. It's kind of the way that I hear about opportunities that I may not have even known of had I not been chatting with other engaged professionals within the public service. I think, even early on, through the work that we're doing through the Federal Youth Network, sometimes you meet ADMs and you hear about you hear about job opportunities that way as well. So I think one of the things I would say when you're engaging in the career boot camp, whether it's virtually or in person, really talk to people around you, learn about the work that they're doing. You might hear about opportunities that you didn't even know that exist within the public service. It's a great way to kind of hear about opportunities and potentially, make an ask and make a career shift in the public service.
I 100% agree. The public service is a bit of a microcosm of the greater society. So the more people you know, the more opportunities present itself. So now let's get to the meat and potatoes of the question. There's a very interesting one. Is there any point to try to advance career during austerity? Are there jobs available?
Well, I'm going to step in there. I mean, I think there's definitely a lot of jobs at D&D, right? So I think there's definitely opportunities out there. And I think in a scenario like this where priorities are shifting for the government of Canada, being aware of what those priorities are and understanding where you might be needed, right? I'm currently, working on an AI file, and I think that was being aware of the fact that this is now a very important file for the government of Canada. So I wanted an opportunity in a field like that. So being aware, like sometimes even like taking a look at the budget. I know it's really dense, or you looking at what are some of the priorities the government of Canada currently has. I mean, previously I worked on digital policy, again, a priority. Figuring out what those things are and then trying to maybe network or identify opportunities within that field. I've heard a lot of colleagues are shifting towards like defense related files, considering that might be somewhere where we're going to be allocating a lot of budget. So building that awareness and then and making those shifts at a time like this, I think you definitely need to be adaptable. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be making a career change. Definitely, it's a time that maybe it may be necessary.
That was a really good response, Natalie. I'll add some thoughts to it. So although there's a lot of job cuts, there's still going to be tons of jobs, right? We're still all here. Our jobs are still needed. We're not all going to work for private sector. There's still going to be jobs needed. There's still going to be lots of hiring. A lot of the efforts are going towards ensuring that those who are able to retire early are doing so. So let's hope many of them take that so that it doesn't affect us. Joking aside, there's still lots of jobs. There's still lots of potential. So we should still remain very, very hopeful. And now is an excellent opportunity to think about what you want to do. Reflect on where you'd like to be in a couple of years, because although we may not be moving somewhere right now, it may be that you'll have to stay put in your current job for 18 months. I think the time frame that's being spoken of, 18 months or more, folks may need to stay put, but eventually it'll be time to move on, move around. So make sure that you're prepared now. And that's why Career Bootcamp, Canada School Public Service, Apolitical, other free learning opportunities are so important for you to take advantage of so that you can build your competencies, build your skills for when you are ready to actually make a move. So yes, best of luck to everyone, and we are here for you.
Yeah, I'd like to add on what Justin and Natalie mentioned as well. Yeah, there are opportunities out there. Yeah. D&D, National Defense. And guess what? During this time, sometimes you may not see many posting out there, but guess what? Joining those speed mentoring, talk to a mentor may open your eyes on some of the areas which you may not been thinking about. Or currently is also a good time to reflect, okay, what are my next steps in order to advance your career? Because let's say I'm in a team leader position, or in ESDC, I'm a PM. Are there any policies maybe you are interested? Maybe like talking about the AI file, like, okay, now I know there's an AI file. Now I'm interested to talk to Natalie later on, possibly, about like, oh, maybe there's something I'm interested. Maybe I was trained on it too. I'm just not aware. So joining these sessions, and also know about what's out there is important.
100%. Expand your horizons. Next question. What's a piece of advice that you'd give to someone who's feeling stuck and unsure about the next step?
I think in a lot of ways it's the same answer as what we just gave. Do your research, navigate the budget, figure out where the priorities are, figure out what you want to do. I know it's very hard for us to figure out what our dream job is, but really encourage you to think about that. That's something I'm undergoing too, figuring out where I want to be in 5 years. It's challenging, but very, very important. So think about what you would like to do and what would make you feel confident with your career and content with your career. But take advantage of the resources available to you. I know we've said that many times, but take advantage of mentorship opportunities. Talk to your manager. It doesn't mean that you can't talk to your manager and be open about maybe you're feeling stuck or looking for more experience, more opportunities. Don't be afraid to talk to them. They might be able to help you more than you know. Have those PMA conversations, but not only at PMA time. You can have regular check-ins throughout the year, see how things are going, have open communication with your management, and talk to your peers and friends too. Through the Fin Network, we have the opportunity to have a large network of colleagues, and it's a great resource to use. We can learn from our peers and get advice and tips from our peers as well. So it doesn't always have to be mentors or managers that you're checking in with, but peers and colleagues as well. Anything to add, Alan, Natalie?
I was gonna add, like, I think definitely if you're feeling like you want to change, I always suggest like start booking those coffee chats. If you see or hear of someone who's interesting in the government of Canada, reach out, see if they'd be free for a coffee chat. At our department, we had something called the Random Coffee Initiative, which I signed up for, and it gave me an opportunity to kind of meet different people across the department, learn about different opportunities, and actually kind of ended up leading to an actual like tangible work opportunity. At our department, we also have something called the Talent Mobility. I don't know if that's something that's available at other departments, but it's like an online portal where you can go and see different managers that are hiring, different opportunities, and you can apply. Kind of put your name forward, indicate your interest and why. And so if you are feeling stuck, it's like, see what your department offers you. If not, start setting up those coffee chats and indicating your interest to maybe make a move, and because those coffee chats could maybe be a way for you to kind of take your career in a more exciting direction than where you currently are, if you're feeling stuck or feeling like you want to keep growing. Make sure that you're communicating that to people, and you never know, the next door might open up for you.
Thank you, Natalie and Justine as well. So first, thank you for sharing that message and being vulnerable. It's not easy to share. Again, just like the two mentioning, building those connections, booking coffee chats are fantastic opportunities to see what's out there. That's why we offer the speed mentoring. And I know there are other similar to those out there as well, the GCWCC option as well. And also ask for, don't be afraid to ask for take me with you initiative. Let's say if your manager is going to meetings and then, oh, what kind of meetings are you going? Can I join? Or what kind of meetings can I join? Or what network or what initiative do you recommend that I will join? So have those chats. Doesn't need to, again, Natalie mentioned, doesn't need to wait till during PMA. And guess what? For that question, we have a session for you. So on January 20th, Career Mobility Decoded will give you, hopefully, give you some answers about where to move. And guess what? About coffee chats. Let's say you don't know who you're going to talk to. January 22nd, Networking with Purpose possibly will help you or those who attended today how to network intentionally as well. I think the day two of the session will be really helpful.
And I just want to add one little last thing there about with your manager. So if you're feeling like you're stuck in your career, like with your current spot, and building off what Justine said, I think definitely communicating that to your manager. Like if you want some like an opportunity to kind of build your skills, or you feel like the work that you're being given isn't really helping you grow, have the courage to communicate that to your manager. I think that definitely, once they're aware of what your needs are and how you'd like to grow, your existing management can also help you, building off of what Justine also mentioned.
And Natalie, guess what? For that particular approach, having a difficult conversation, have that asked. Our in-person learning day has a workshop for that. So when we have those sessions in town, ensure to register and we are able to interact with you in an in-person format. So we'll see you in one of the cities coming up in 2026.
On to the next question. I got kicked out of the Zoom, so my tally for the upvotes might not be the most accurate, but I think this is a really nice question. How do you maximize the benefits of this bootcamp if we live outside of the National Capital Region, where many of the job opportunities are? In other words, for folks who are remote or outside of the National Capital Region, is it possible to advance our careers without moving to the NCR?
Well, I feel like I've made some career when we went into COVID and we went into pandemic, like we all went into work virtually. And but I still made a big career change while in the pandemic. In fact, I found that virtual work made networking and meeting people way easier. In fact, we launched the Random Coffee Initiative during the pandemic, where everybody was working from home, and was one of the ways that I met another director within our department and moved on to a file in parliamentary affairs, which was a really, I don't know if I would have gotten that opportunity had I been working in the office. Because of the virtual nature of COVID, it just let me network across the department in a very different way. So I think just because you're working virtually doesn't mean that you still don't have access to the public service. And I think definitely since COVID, the government of Canada has been doing a really great job of making sure that we're all engaged virtually. So I don't think you should think that you're limited in your opportunities just because you're working remotely and you're not in the NCR. In fact, you still might have a lot of opportunity available to you if you just sort of enhance the way that you network virtually.
I've heard from many senior leaders and managers who are in the regions that they absolutely love working in the regions and would never change a thing. So I love hearing that from being someone who's in the NCR and do have a lot of access to in-person events and networking in the NCR. I love hearing that there's many, many success stories in the regions as well. So it's really nice to hear so many success stories in the regions. We're fortunate to see at our in-person learning days, the realities in the regions are quite different. So no secrets there, but there's many ways to build up your network and increase your reach in the regions. So I've heard from those. This question has been asked a few times actually, and I like hearing senior management's response. And many of them say, no, you do not need to uproot your life and move to NCR. You can capitalize on advantages that you have for yourself in the region. But being an NCR person, I don't have that same insight that those in the regions would have. So I'd recommend connecting with mentors or folks in the regions. And Alan's in the region himself. I know he wants to add something.
Yeah, thank you, Justine. Just like to add that as well. For myself, I'm in the region. I'm in Calgary, Treaty 7 territory. How to maximize this boot camp? I would say one of the main key takeaway is to join the speed mentoring because you don't know who you'll be matching with. So able to hear folks from different regions, kind of a similar situation would help. And the other thing is for speakers for those sessions, we do have speakers from across the country, not just from NCR mostly. So check out the LinkedIn profile. I do agree with Natalie, talked about the random coffee chats. It's not easy, I do understand, but it's for sometimes career move, it's about stretching a little bit. So our workshops or our in-person learning do provide those resources, or simply check out our wiki page will provide those resources on how to have a coffee chat, a virtual coffee chat from the person that you would like to talk to, and then go from there. Listening to real life examples will be pretty helpful. As Justine said, some folks may like to just work for the regions because in the region, the work that you do compared with NC are quite different. Maybe also think about what kind of work you would like to do as well. I think this career bootcamp do provide the space and the resources for all us to think and self-reflect on our career goals, not just short term, but also long term as well.
Agreed. I'm also in the regions, so Alan's points are great. Thank you to all three of you. This was a wealth of knowledge. I encourage all the participants to attend the sessions that we have in January. You will definitely learn a lot, and you can also look at this recording on the Fin YouTube channel that will be linked in the follow-up email. If there's anything else that you would like to know, you can check the CBC 2026 wiki page. That's also in the chat. We have one last final polling question for you. Was this session a good use of your time? Yes, no, and I don't know. We'll leave this with you and hope that most of you answered the question. And thank you very much for joining us today.